My name's Susan Stockwell and I'm an artist. I trained as a sculptor, but I make all sorts of things, including this installation. In fact, often I make large-scale installations out of a mix of materials, but usually found materials and recycled materials and materials such as money here. Trade winds seemed a really appropriate title, partly because you've got this kind of these boats, you know, looking as if they're in a wind going across an ocean, but also it relates very much to the history of the house and John Champneys' story, really, as a trader. I started off making boats out of money because it just suddenly one day struck me that money notes make great sails and great boats, and also we all hold our dreams in money, and we talk about boats as dream carriers, and there has a lot of mythology around boats. So it seemed like the perfect marriage of idea and material. And I started to sew with them and use all sorts of different kinds of colours and threads, and particularly silver thread though, because British money has it certainly used to have a silver thread running through it, and that proved it was real. I made maps with money, I've made all sorts of work with money. I've never really used coins before though, because I like to transform material and work with it, and coins is very difficult to do that. But when I was thinking about this space and this house, I thought the coins would be really good, because I know that the house has a coin collection, an ancient coin collection. So it seemed appropriate to bring coins in when we spoke about it last year. It's got this beautiful stone floor, and I had this idea that coins would look great on it, and that I could make a sea, an ocean of coins, and float some of my boats on it, on the ocean of coins, on this lovely stone floor. I'm really interested in trade and trading history altogether, but particularly social economic history and the history of trade, and post-colonial histories as well. I've used those worked with those themes and those subjects a lot in my work, and so it all again tied in and made sense to look at that, and to work in this house, to work site-specifically in this house, not just with the material of the floor and the architecture, but also with the history of the house and with the story about the guy who built the house. He was also Lord Mayor of London. So John Champneys built this house in 1540, and he used recycled materials to build it, so I like that idea. But it's pretty ancient, and I really like working in historic buildings, but putting in completely contemporary interventions. I like the way that the ancient and the modern, or the old and the new, come together and make their own story. And often the juxtaposition of that creates something, a tension, that's actually much more interesting than either thing on its own. So I particularly like the way that the money works here. There's a kind of sea of money on the floor here, and I particularly like the way it works with these money boats, and we can see that most of the money is contemporary money. So there's something interesting about the fact that this contemporary money about contemporary issues is in this really old building, although of course these issues have been around for a long, long time, I think.